Chris Webber sitting it out after picking up a fourth foul. The Cavaliers are on their way to their best third quarter of this series. They have outscored the Pistons now 14-3, led by Tayshaun Prince. Cavaliers opened up with a 9-2 run, but since then, I should say the Pistons opened up with a 9-2 run. Since then, the Cavs have outscored the Pistons 12-4, and the game is tied.
And Marv, I think you got to get this guy right back in the game. You've got to go to him. He got off to a very good start. Rasheed, he had 8 points since that point in time. He's been very quiet. He's been in and out of the game. I think he's the difference maker for this team. I think if he doesn't come alive here, they're going to be in for a dogfight down the stretch.
Daniel Gibson has checked in for the Cavs. Varejao coming over the top, called for the foul. Cavaliers' third team foul. Pistons have 4. Detroit with the backcourt of Phillips and Hamilton up front. Maxey with Wallace and Prince. Gibson defending on Phillips. Hamilton able to spin away to free himself up.
Well, that's a beautiful move. You know, there's so much length on Hamilton in this series, and you talked about it, Doug. Pavlovich doing a nice job. He's challenging Hamilton's shots, so he's got to start utilizing that pump fake a little bit more, I think.
Pistons with their first field goal in 5.5 minutes. Crowd wanted to travel on Good, but that shot way off. Phillips with the save, and he's fouled. Pushed by Good.
And you see LeBron James, he looks at him and he said, just shoot the jump shot. Don't drive in there and make it a more contested shot. This is what you teach young guys. Learn how to pivot. Look at Rip. He keeps that pivot foot down. There's two guys trapping him. And watch just what happens. He ends up splitting it right, steps right through him with a nice, easy shot. That's just a nice fundamental basketball play.
2.5 remaining in the third. Pistons with a 2-point lead. Phillips putting moves on Gibson. And a defensive 3 is called again against Cleveland.
Lack of attention to detail. Steve talked about it a while ago. You got to get in there, and you know you got to get out. So there's no reason to be standing in that lane. The referees are watching, and especially anytime there's an isolation play. Phillips was isolated to go against Daniel Gibson, so the referees are going to be watching away from the basketball.
This time, Rip Hamilton shot the free throw.
And here's the call here on Marshall. Just gets caught in the middle of the lane. And at some point, you just have to jump outside the lane. You can get right back in.
Varejao defending on Wallace. Prince digging and stops. The reverse slam by Tayshaun Prince.
How's the wingspan? Oh my God. How did he get that all the way on the other side of the hoop?
10 points for Prince all here in the third quarter. Varejao rejected by Maxey. Phillips to the fadeaway. And Varejao tips it to Marshall. Coming up on a minute to play in the third. Cavaliers trailing by 5. LeBron James setting things up. Shot clock to 5. James slapped out. Last touch by Wallace.
Well, Steve, you talked about the long arms. How about the ability also to have big hands and be able to palm this basketball and take it to the other side? Look at that. So it's an unbelievable advantage. You can palm the basketball. You have this huge wingspan, and you can take the ball to the other side of the rim and dunk the basketball. That was just a beautiful play by Tayshaun Prince.
Damon Jones back in, coming on for Sasha Pavlovich. Prince doing a good job on James. Off the head fake. Here's LeBron. 19 points for LeBron James, although he has not shot well. 7 of 19 from the field. Pistons now lead 70-67. Here's Wallace for 3. Rebounded by Marshall. And about a 2.5 differential between the game clock and shot clock.
And if they use the clock right here, they're going to be down only 1 possession, or if they get a 3, possibly tied. So the third quarter goes by, and if they're going to be in this position, they're sitting well for the fourth quarter.
Gibson for 3, yes! With 1 second left in the third. That will not count. The Cavaliers with their best third quarter of this Eastern Conference Final Series as they outscore the Pistons 19-18, and the game is tied at 70. A strong finish to the third for Cleveland. We're back at the Palace. A look at downtown Detroit. It is on to the fourth quarter, and the Cavaliers have to be very pleased with what turns out to be their best third quarter of the series.
Well, relatively speaking, that was like the Showtime Lakers in the third quarter. I mean, 19 points. They finally won a quarter, and I think the key is, what you talked about, Doug, getting the ball inside. I mean, look at these shots. They made 5 hoops in the lane area. They also got to the free throw line. So the key was not settling for outside jumpers. They got good ball movement. It was a much better quarter. They played with good confidence. And they're in a position now where, they've got this crowd scared. I don't sense that the Pistons feel overly confident. Cleveland's in position right now to pull off the upset.
And, LeBron James said in games 3 and 4, keep me close in the fourth quarter and I'll find a way to win the game. And these are the kind of games that superstars take over on the road. And again, I'm going to get back to the Detroit Pistons in games 1 and 2. Rasheed Wallace was so good in the fourth quarters. They need him now. He was 3 for 4 in the first quarter, 8 points since then. 0 for 3, he's not scored.
And remember, these two teams met in the Eastern Conference semifinals last year. Detroit won in 7. The tip by Varejao. And the Cavaliers have taken a 2-point lead, but in that series, Detroit won the first 2 games easily. Cleveland won the next 3, including game 5 here at the Palace, and then Detroit pulled it out by winning games 6 and 7 to take the series. Got clock to 5. Hunter, who just checked back in, got the step. Brown wanted a goaltend on Varejao.
Well, Mark, to get back to your point, we asked Flip Saunders, is this a better Cavs team this year or last year? He said, no question, this is a better team. They were better in the regular season. They're more solid, more experienced. And he knows his team's in a big fight here.
And how much time can they buy with LeBron James resting right now? Normally we've seen him play the entire second half, and these are the close games. And in games 1 and 2, Detroit found a way to win. In games 3 and 4, Detroit winning going into both fourth quarters. They lost those games, and the team that has won the fourth quarter in every game in the series has won the game.
A minute gone by here in the fourth. Ron James getting a rest. He's on the bench. Here's Hughes attempting a 3. A late whistle. He is fouled by Prince. Bob Delaney made the call on the release, and that'll be 3 free throws for Hughes.
Well, looked to me like Prince got him on the arm. I mean, he was really crowding him, and this is something that we've seen called a lot more frequently this year than in the past. And he gets his hand, looks like he hits him right on the hand on the follow-through. Tough to tell, whether it was a foul or not. I always felt as a shooter, if a guy hits your hand, how are you supposed to make the shot? When you hear this hands part of the ball stuff, I don't buy it. I think that's a foul.
These are big free throws here because, again, LeBron James is resting, and normally he has not had the ability to do this. We've seen him play most every second half all the way through. So if they can keep the lead, even build on the lead where he can come in and finish it.
Hughes a 68% free throw shooter during the regular season. And Larry Hughes has given the Cavs more than they expected. He came out, hit the 2 threes